welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Eden Amadora. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new to this channel, this is a place where we speak about the priestess path, walking heart forward into the world, and the great awakening that starts with you and me. And I have something very special today. I'm here with my beloved sister, ally, earth angel, Chanel. And we have just completed a powerful priestess retreat together here in my home temple in Northern California. I was so honored that you came all the way from Europe for this. It's such a...
It's been so beautiful and so deep and so alchemical. Yeah, it's powerful work. Yeah.
It's sometimes really fun too.
Yes.
So we've had a lot of fun. We've moved a lot of energy, and today we're going to share a few pieces from this particular frequency. You can see we're in the sapphire blue color, and one of our temples, the whole space is just filled with this color and honoring the mysteries of water and the power of water. So I hope you really enjoy this video. So a few days ago, we did a ritual for compassion, deep, deep compassion. And we speak about the waters of compassion. And in the ritual, there is a wonderful way that we work with the water by immersing gardenia flower blossoms in the water overnight. And it infuses the water with the scent. So the whole room, the whole temple was this fragrance of gardenias for the women to be in for that frequency. And then as we forgave ourselves and forgave others, these gardenias were there waiting for us to use the very waters they were floating in. And the sealing rite after we spoke what we were releasing from our hearts for forgiveness is truly the water of release and freedom. And as we spoke that, then we drank of the waters of forgiveness to alchemize anything less than love. And we drank of the gardenia water, and some of the women were surprised you can even do that. And not only can you do that, it's delicious.
It's the best waters I've ever tasted.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's so symbolic that that's actually also what we can experience when we really go into and release and really fully forgive. We do experience a new fragrance in life. And even the taste, like actually the taste of the water was beyond anything I've tasted before.
It's a combination of how magical it truly is, and then how opened up our hearts were, and how present we were, and how high the vibration in the space was by that point in the ritual. We had prayed, we had sat in what we call empty presence for a long time, raising our frequency. And one thing I'm aware of, and that I'm sure you've experienced in ceremony too, is that when the heart softens and opens, all of our senses feel heightened. Not only does the gardenia water taste more amazing, like a magical elixir, the room is vibrating with a light and a color frequency that it's beyond what you think you could perceive before you open your heart. So the grateful open heart is really a dimensional portal into higher states of consciousness.
So I've been through some really challenging phases of my life, and even things that people did to me, and also things that I did to people. And it's really been forgiveness that's been the number one key to my liberation. I find it very important to have in our toolbox when things get tough, and especially if we have, if we carry things inside of us and carry pain inside of us, carry people inside of us. It's really forgiveness that dissolves, and we talked about this also in one of the rituals. You had a specific word that you used when we did a water ritual.
The Alchemical Principle.
Yeah.
So it's solve e coagula, and dissolution, the Alchemical Principle of dissolution, which is kind of a lot like disillusionment in a weird way, but it's a positive use of this word. Solutio is the alchemical principle, and the active matter is dissolution of a solid, of a crystallized hardness into a higher form of fluidity, and the movement of energy that comes with that. So I like to liken it to old stories that we hold on to so tightly become crystallized in our emotional body. And when we finally forgive, it's like those waters dissolve those harsh crystals, and the energy moves, and we're freeing ourselves ultimately. It's not even about releasing the other, it's about releasing the self from that lower vibration. And in a way, I feel like this is all about detoxification, all about purification. Because thought forms can sicken the body.
Yeah. And in nature also, water, as long as water is running, it's self-purifying. It goes in spirals, and it always purifies itself. It's when it gets stagnant and it doesn't run freely, when we dam up the waters, that problems come also in nature. But also it's a symbol of how when we also are more stagnant with our past, stagnant with the things we went through, we hold on to bitterness, that we create problems. If we can be more as nature's blueprint, which is always running, always changing, and we are on a molecular level. You said it the other day, how many percentage of water we are.
Yeah, it's higher than I've ever known. I've heard we're 70% water. That being said, it's come into my awareness that many, many more of our molecules in total, percentage-wise, are water molecules. We're mostly water. So there's a fascinating science about that, and how resonance affects our bodies, vibration, just like in Dr. Emoto's work about the message in water. We are impressionable, our health is impacted by our thoughts. The vibrational quality of our thought forms then affects our health through the waters of our being. And when you were talking about rivers and creeks needing to run to stay healthy, I'm thinking of the word emotion. There's the word motion in it, right?
Yeah.
And there's really no negative or positive emotion. There's just different kind of like frequencies, vibrational frequencies. So shame, hate, anger, fear are very dense, slow moving energies. And that's where the body sickens. And as you raise your frequency and raise your emotional mastery, the quality of movement of energy, you move into states of gratitude, peace, joy, bliss, ecstasy. And the waters of our body are resonating with this really, really high frequency.
And we see this even with flower remedies. They use alcohol to freeze the frequency. And why do they do that? They do this because water copies the environment. So whatever also your kind of, I would say, default setting is, or wherever your mind is or heart is focused on, will ripple through the field. As you throw stone in water, it will really create these ripples. And we can be, when we become more aware of that, we can start to also really see how important it is, our inner state of being, because it really creates, it sets the field.
Yeah, we create the ripple with our frequency, and then the waters of our being communicate with the waters of others' beings. We're incredible communicators through transduction, and this is not just talking about fluid exchange. This is literally how our vibration and our waters talk to each other. It is carrying messages and energy constantly through our field, through our touch, through our intention.
Memory.
Yeah.
So there's memory in water.
Oh, I can offer the chalice. Yeah, this reminds me. So there's a little bit of really high frequency spring water that I structured with some crystals. And when we offer the chalice in our work to another beloved, we offer them to drink of the waters of remembrance and alchemize anything less than love. Drink of the waters of remembrance, transfiguration through grace. And you look over the chalice at the eyes, and in your eyes, I remember. So we offer this blessing of remembrance. And as we're remembering wholeness, we're remembering our essence, we're remembering where we come from. And there's a saying in the priestess work, water, memnos, memory, mother. And in some ancient languages, it's the very same word for mother, and water. Do you want to tell them about the bowl of water we have?
Yeah. So during our very beautiful in-depth retreat here, we did a water ceremony, a water blessing ceremony. And in here we have
waters from all over the planet that are sacred. And these are a mixture of salt water from the ocean, waters from rivers, streams, and springs, waters from waterfalls. I actually collected waterfall water from this very valley where the Omi Native Americans lived for hundreds of years. And there's waters from holy wells, from the Chalice well and the White Spring. And Chanel brought this amazing water as a gift for me, and we added this to the sacred water, the holy water ritual. Do you want to speak about this precious one too?
So this water I collected from, there's a fountain outside Maria Magdalena's chapel in South France, and these beautiful waters come out from a lion-headed mouth. I always collect water when I come to rivers, to small lakes, and especially also if there's sacred sites, I always collect the water and I bring it with me and I pray with it, and also to use in healing work. It's very, very potent.
Good job. Yeah. So as we added the water, and of course this is not to be taken internally, this is to be used in the space, almost like a crystal would attune a being during a healing ceremony, or to have the water on your altar to pray with under a moon cycle, to then add a drop to something or anoint yourself with it, but not to drink it. We prayed and we sang over the waters and we chanted over the waters. And this water holds all of those blessings, all of those prayers for Gaia, Terra, her waters, the waters of every human, to come back into resonance and into remembrance of wholeness and balance and health.